Is the Quran a divine book? What are the criteria to verify its divinity? Episode 8. The fourth criterion is there bias in the decrees or rulings of the Quran? Is there bias in the decrees or rulings of the Quran? Islamists claim that the rulings of the Quran are just and unbiased because they come from a knowledgeable, wise, and just God. We must recognize that this God, Allah, is the Creator who is well acquainted with His creation and knows what is best for them. Let us look at the following examples from the Quranic texts to judge if the Islamists' claim is true or false. The first example is from chapter 4, verse 56. Indeed, those who disbelieve in our verses, we will drive them into a fire. Every time their skins are roasted through, we will replace them with other skins so they may taste the punishment. Indeed, Allah is ever exalted in might and wise. Where is the justice in burning this person in the fire of hell and its eternal torment just because they denied Allah's message, even though their denial neither harms nor will harm Allah in any way? Moreover, the disbeliever reached their disbelief using their mind, and this mind is the creation of Allah, not humans. If we assume that Allah must punish those who do not believe in Him, the punishment should be proportional to the sin, not eternal torment, especially for something trivial that should not matter to Allah, like belief or shirk. The second example is from chapter 20, verse 124, and whoever turns away from my remembrance, indeed, he will have a depressed life, and we will gather him on the day of resurrection blind. Why punish someone who turned away from Allah's remembrance twice, a depressed life in this world and blindness in the hereafter? Is one punishment not enough, especially since Allah previously gave us the choice to believe or disbelieve? What benefit does Allah gain from this double punishment? The third example is from chapter 4 verse 15, those who commit unlawful sexual intercourse of your women, bring against them 4 witnesses from among you. And if they testify, confine the guilty women to houses until death takes them, or Allah ordains for them another way. Is there any acceptable punishment worse than confining the woman who commits adultery or unlawful sexual intercourse until death comes to her? Islamists claim that this verse has been abrogated with a lighter ruling, that unmarried woman or unmarried man found guilty of sexual intercourse, lash each one of them with 100 lashes, and do not be taken by pity for them in the religion of Allah. Chapter 24, verse 2. Here, one must ask, how can a knowledgeable and wise God amend His rulings, and what is the wisdom behind that? The fourth example is from chapter 2, verse 230, and if he has divorced her for the 3rd time, then she is not lawful to him afterward until after she marries a husband other than him. Here we see the Quran imposing the burden on the woman whose husband divorced her 3 times, not allowing her to return to her husband or children until she marries another man, as the verse confirms. This act is known as ta'lil or hela marriage, which requires a woman divorced 3 times to marry and be consummated by another man if she wishes to return to her previous husband. The question here is there any consideration for the woman's feelings and safety in this ruling? Why is the woman punished for a mistake she had no part in, and how does this align with the principle of "and no bearer of burdens will bear the burden of another," chapter 6, verse 164? The fifth example is from chapter 5, verse 33, indeed, the penalty for those who wage war against Allah and His Messenger and strive upon earth to cause corruption is none but that they be killed or crucified, or that their hands and feet be cut off from opposite sides, or that they be exiled from the land. That is for them a disgrace in this world, and for them in the hereafter is a great punishment. From this verse, we see that Allah has announced His severe wrath to take revenge on those who wage war against Allah and His Messenger, threatening with killing and mutilation all those who attempt to oppose Him and His Messenger Muhammad, including the corrupt, atheists, and apostates from Islam. This brutal retribution indicates human reactions to achieve political goals and maintain personal gains, because a powerful God, capable of everything, does not need to threaten and intimidate. There are many examples in the Quran of the injustice of its rulings. For those who want more information, I suggest reviewing my book The Islam Delusion, or The Danger of Islamic Doctrine. This brings us to the end of this episode. I extend my utmost respect and wish you health and safety.
Talal Ar-Rawindi.